Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV down here at the Forest River Vibe plant today. Got lightheaded just now, just about lost my balance and cracked my nugget. That would have been a fun way to start the video. Regardless, moving on from there, if you have a big family and you want big space, if you need big space, but you need more than just a couple's rig, take a look at this sucker because when I first walked in the door, when you look at the living room of this, you don't really think you're in a bunkhouse. You have opposing super slides in the living room with surprisingly good campside window coverage so you can keep an eye on the kids, dual power awning so you can extend your living space to the extreme and rock the mic like a vandal. But you also have a dedicated private rear bunkhouse with slide out and a move bunk, get out the way setup where you can have a bonus bed down below that could also be a sofa. So on a rainy day, you can literally go, kids, go to your room. And they're not going to be very upset or argue with you about that. They have also, Vibe is an interesting brand. They are not trying to be the most mainstream thing. They are not trying to be like everybody else. They do weird stuff in weird ways. And I kind of like it. Like this is washer dryer prepped. You don't run into a lot of that. They are going to be updating to a standard 31,500 BTU dual air max efficiency cooling system. It's a spring, summer, fall camper. It's not made for winter living or anything like that. Wide stance stability axles, though, are going to be something if you do plan on towing and going, you're going to appreciate because this thing, I mean, the GVW is over 11,000 pounds. It is long and strong and down to get the camping on, and it is a big rig right here. It's the size of a fifth wheel. I sound like I had dental work and my lips were numbed and I suddenly can't speak or something, but you get the idea. It's a big RV, but it gives you big space. So let me know what you like, what you dislike, and I'm going to tell you the good with the bad, and if you appreciate that, hit that subscribe button. Let's go. All right, we got about 40 foot of RV to cover, so I'm just going to get Doug in here, although Doug still doesn't show up to work, but you get the idea. We are carpetless, we have opposing floor flush slides, and we are ventless. So I think this is what a lot of people are looking for in terms of comfort. And I'm going to give you kind of like a big overall look at everything so you can see how it all pieces together. Then we're going to start really peeling apart the onion and getting into the nitty-gritty details. Like, first of all, taller ceiling. It's an 80-inch ceiling, which translates to 6'8" tall. The skylight over the kitchen also providing some good lighting. It almost looks like there's two skylights. Because of the way the stovetop works out on this one, we don't actually have a stovetop vent hood. They gave us a bigger window instead, which I'm not disappointed with, but you still have a way to exhaust the heat and the smells and everything. Now, they've changed up a lot of their dining arrangements this year, where it almost looks like it began as what was going to be a U-dinette, and then it became some kind of Franken table. And I could see somebody liking this, and I could see somebody not. The one thing I'm going to say, I love all the seating solutions in here. Like over on the right-hand side, we've got a theater seat that's cuddle compliant with the folding armrest. Love it. We've got the goofy Franken table. We've got bar top dining, and we've also got a hide-a-bed with a footrest ottoman flip-up tabletop over here. So the thing is, it can do about everything, but as a result of having all these chairs and everything, even though it's a big, giant, wide-open RV, it kind of looks and feels a little bit cluttered sometimes. But think about this. If you're stuck inside on a rainy day and you got a family of 4, 5, 6 people, everybody can have their own space and everybody can do their own thing. And nobody has to touch one another and pick at one another and annoy everybody. And that kind of crap happens on a rainy day. It gets super annoying. It was probably annoying just listening to me talk about it for a second there, let alone dealing with it for a 16-hour period. So I'm not necessarily upset about the fact that I have all these different things. Now, if there's a couple of the chairs you don't want, you want to get rid of the ottoman, you want to pull it out of the way, nothing says you have to leave everything all over the place. That's just kind of up to you. Now, the kitchen counter space, I will say, for an RV of this size that could accommodate this many people, it is a little bit limited, certainly. But it's not the worst I've ever seen. It does feel a little bit light for the number of people that could be in here. I do want to give them credit, though. They gave us absolutely maximum campside window coverage over there. the viewing on this is just terrific. Now, the hide-a-bed, when it opens, yeah, you got to kind of walk around it to walk through the RV. But this is a secondary sleeper. This is not going to be in use all of the time. And I'm not going to mince words. It's essentially a bit of a neck wrecker entertainment center. Now, the TV can twist, shout, and pivot about, but in its default configuration, yeah, it's not directly facing any of the chairs. But when we have this much seating space, what is the correct orientation for the TV? Like, where should it be located? It feels like a loaded question. It feels like no matter where the TV is going to be directed, someone's going to say it's wrong. So they split the difference, and someone will still say it's wrong. And I think for different people, you're not wrong. Everyone's going to look at it differently. We do have that electric space heat and Tootsie toaster down there, by the way. Also, you have maximized windows on both sides of the RV. And if you notice, these windows open for airflow. The breeze function that you can enjoy in this RV is about as good as you could ever hope to get in something this size. That is an area I think they actually did very, very well. And I like what they're doing there with that armrest. They put some USB plugs kind of hidden away right behind the double cup holders there. So both of you can be two fists in it. You can have 4 drinks going for 2 seats. That's pretty party animalistic right there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you're sitting over here at the theater seat, or if you are, hanging out back here at the dinette where I'm at right now, remember that TV can pivot around. And when you do that, it's not too bad. But now it's absolutely awful for the person over here at the second sofa, at the little trifold hide-a-bed sleeper sofa. I got to get around the table and the chairs here. Again, there's a lot of furniture in this RV. But you notice that ottoman also has storage and can flip up to be an additional dining space. And if you need that absolute last backup sleeping space, obviously you can fold that out. Now that's closer to like a full-size bed in residential terms. It's not a queen, it's short. And again, the TV can pivot around the other direction. So if you want to be over in the kitchen while everybody's outside, or sitting at that sofa with the Dinofa ottoman action, you can pivot the TV around there. But obviously, by default, it doesn't directly face anybody. I had to flip around the other direction, and this is actually what the television's point of view was a second ago. Taking a look at all the kitchen, because there's actually a decent amount of storage here, more so than you would think by first glancing at it. Like, you've got quadruple drawers down to the floors, plus a 5th drawer under a triple function electric oven. It is not a propane oven, but you have like air fryer, convection, and microwave functions all in there. You also have a propane hookup outside, as well as a 3-burner cooktop inside. Now, I flipped up that glass top because it seems that there are some people who are still trying to turn on the fire burners under a glass top, thinking it's a glass top cooker, even though they can see a flame below it, and literally exploding the glass in their RV. Dangerous, not fun, gotta have a repair, gotta clean it up. So, that's important to know. I guess if you take one thing away from this video, know that the glass tops over a propane stove in an RV need to be folded out of the way before you cook upon them. And this is kind of what I'm saying. There's more storage than meets the eye in here. This big double door pantry. I grabbed the silverware organizer from a drawer. I figured that gives us a good, frame of reference. Look how big and deep that is. And obviously there's lips on all that storage. There's lips on the storage, and there's moves like Jagger, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know what that means. Skirted stainless sink. No place for a wastebasket though. The shelf on the right-hand side, I kind of wish that was omitted to give us a little wastebasket space. And interesting little note on the table over here. It's kind of multi-adjustable. Now, that's theoretically a telescopic leg. In theory, it could slide down, but I don't think this is designed to be slept upon. I think it's just height adjustable depending on your size and stature. What I noticed though is there's a second handle here. If you can shimmy it around multiple directions and then lock it in place. So depending on how much space you need and where you're sitting, it can make a heck of a difference. And remember I told you earlier, if you don't need all the extra furniture, if you don't need all the extra chairs, you can totally just get that stuff out of the way. And it's kind of crazy how big and open the RV gets and how quickly that happens. And in case you were wondering where I stuck all the furniture, just stored it away in the old prison wallet for a minute. At least that's what it felt like when I shoved it all into the hallway behind me where I'm standing right now, and then walked into it forgetting that I put it there for some stupid reason. This is reason number 37. I don't think this dinette is designed for sleeping. The back cushions are much, much thinner than the butt cushions, so they're not going to lay flat. And that one obviously is kind of half flopping. I don't love that. Maybe a little Velcro holdback or something would help fix that. But hey, oh, air conditioners. This is 50 amp. And it currently, by default, at the time that I'm recording this, is a single air standard, but it's not going to be that way. They are, in the very near future, converting to dual air standard. And what it's going to be basically is this air conditioner right here will be one of those Furrion chill cubes, and it will directly dump up to 18,000 BTUs of air conditioner here into the biggest cavity of the RV. Now, it has the capacity for a single mini duct that will pump some air back into that private rear bunk room, so it's not going to get sweltering hot there. The front bedroom and bathroom will share a mini ducted 13,500 BTU air conditioner, so it will be a whole house centralized high efficiency system by the time it's done. I also really like the fact that you have an easy reach light switch here for the owners and the of the RV to be able to flick the lights off and on. And I really like how they actually included from the factory the little safety gates so you don't got to worry about the littles rolling out of bed. Ooh, hello, power outlets. That's a nice location for one of those. We also, I noticed, have some TV hookups back here on the rear wall. Presumably somewhere in that wall is a mounting point for a TV. Behind all of this, though, like there's storage here. I'm going to get this up. But behind it, there's an outdoor kind of television and refrigerator combo center. Is there a hanging rack on that or something? No, there's not. That is just one big giant open cavity of space. If you're not going to put a hanging rod or something in there, I kind of wish that shelf would have persisted all the way across to sort of maximize the folded clothing potential, which is probably more useful for the kids. However, quadruple drawers down here at the floor level, that is a really nice touch. And I just noticed something that could be a major problem for some folks. The location of that converter fuse box, that is a point you might want to consider. And I mention this because it's probably for almost anybody not going to ever be an issue. But if something goes wrong, this could be a major problem. If you go, like, when these slides are closed, you're not going to be able to get back to that bunk room. So if you go to open this super slide over here and it's cold and the fuse pops, and I've had that happen before, guys. I've been doing this almost 16 years. It happens. Not often, but it happens. If that fuse pops, you are going to have a very hard time getting back to that converter panel. Now, this slide out does have a manual override, but you have to be inside the RV to get to it. There's actually a little tool that's included. It looks like a little bendy shake weight, basically. Wah, 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 wah. And you hook it actually right up to the system on here, and you get a drill, and you just sit there and let the drill do the work. It's not hard, but you got to be inside the RV. So that means somehow you'd have to shove somebody through a window and then manually override that thing and then replace the fuse. It's not ideal. It's rare, but man, if it goes sideways, it goes really sideways. Trick is in this floor plan, I'm not sure where else they could put it that would be less of a challenge. So I hope you appreciate that I'm willing to point out potentially major problems for folks and be very real and totally candid with you in these videos. Because if that happened to me, I'd be spitting nails. Oh my gosh, I'd be furious. Because good, bad, or ugly, I want you to walk away from this RV with fair information. Before you go dropping a lot of money, you deserve to know what's what. And that's, that's my goal with these. Now over here, up top, we got a move bunk, get out the way. And down here, Wildwood, which is actually a cousin to the Vibe groups, they call this their Versa bunk. It folds open to create a lower camp queen. Now, I actually think 2 kids could probably sleep side by side down there if you had to. This is a triple bunk room that could sleep 4. And bunks are generally intended for littles anyway. But the thing is, it has potential for another function. Because we got the move bunk get out the way, and the hinge could be taken off, like that could be removed, and because the Versa bed bunk thing is not bolted to the floor, you can actually create some wide open space here. Now, there is a little bit of a bump there. It's not a truly, totally floor flush slide. The living room slide is actually more flush than this. But if you wanted to create an office space back here, it would not necessarily be impossible, nor difficult, and private. But moving out of the bunk room, moving forward here, headed up to the bathroom. I actually think that there's another point that's worth addressing on this RV. This is an RV that can, in theory, accommodate a ton of people, but it's a single bathroom. And if what you're like, if you have one or two kids and you know, you're just wanting to give them a private room, or maybe you have a child with special needs who needs that quieter decompression space. They need their own space to kind of zero out sometimes. You know, a private bunk room like this can be great, but it's a single bathroom model. It's not a bath and a half. So that could mean a lot of activity, traffic, competition for the bathroom space over here. And that's going to be a problem for some folks. But again, I hope you appreciate that I'm very real about this. Let's, I got to reach around the corner to get the lights on. So that's going to make me force the camera up top. So let's look at the bathroom ceiling height, the shower ceiling height, more specifically. First of all, look at the left side of the screen. And I'm a little bit over 6 foot wearing shoes. I can stand in that shower just fine, because again, we are a little taller shower over here. They give us a handy little, like, shelf and towel drying bar combo, which I like. It is a basic fan in the bathroom. It's not a big XL fan. And they have maintained their ventless flooring system all the way through this RV, which is actually really, really nice. And excellent, excellent space around that toilet, as you can see. Leg room, arm room, everything. Plenty of space there. We do change over from solid surface counters in the kitchen to a thermal foil here in the bathroom. And to give you a little bit of a reference as to the storage in here, take a look at the left side of the screen. I threw my phone in one of those cabinets just to give you a little bit of a size demo. Again, they threw a shelf under the bathroom sink. I kind of wish that wasn't there, so that I had a private place for a wastebasket, but plenty of drawer space in there. We've got plywood drawers all the way down to the floors, which is something that I do appreciate. Now I'm going to have to get these doors rearranged so I can walk through here and not slam a door in your face. So while we're doing that, take a look at the right side of the screen. You do have a window that opens for airflow in the hallway, a window in the door to give you light and visibility. It's privacy shade ready, just don't have one from factory. Doors rearranged, moving up to the bedroom. I want to be clear about what this bed is and is not. If you read the literature, it says custom king mattress. What that means is not a king. It is 66 by 78 in size. If you relate that more to residential sizing, it's basically what's called an Olympic queen mattress, which is 66 by 80. So you could replace this very easily and directly with an Olympic queen. You can't really go any wider because of your hanging wardrobe side stands. You could maybe go a little more narrow if you modify the bed decking under it a little bit, but you won't have to really remanufacture any bed bases. Now remember, this is currently a standalone bedroom-only air conditioner. That's going to change to a bedroom-bathroom shared air, basically, which will actually enhance the overall efficiency of the RV, because it's not, you know, the living room air isn't trying to also cool every other room. I do love the dual headboard power pockets that we have going on here. And this bedroom actually has, I think, way better like closet storage space than you would initially think. Because at a glance, you've got two smallish hanging wardrobes, like some small shirts, even long pants like mine wouldn't totally fit in there without kind of touching the bottom. And it's not drawers, but it's also not a super deep cargo pocket where you're giving it looks like you're giving an elephant an enema because you got to reach in there so far. Ooh, that's a day I don't ever want to relive, but moved on from that. It's an entirely different story for an entirely different day. I give them credit. We got the Clutter Cutter shoe garage. We got the Foot Locker easy lift gas strutted bed storage, and we have a monstrously large window over here giving us crazy good views and airflow. Now, albeit off the poop side of the RV, but they did the best they could where they could. We do also have TV hookups across from the bed, but then you see door number 2. And if we slide this open like some Legend of Zelda secret thing, you've got a convertible closet space here. So these hanging closet racks can fold down and get out of the way. That's motion activated lighting in that closet, or you could just turn it off or on, however you want to. Down below though, this is where you see your washer dryer hookups. By default, these are fixed shelves so they can handle more weight, but there's just 4 screws and you can remove them. So if you wanted, you could put in a combo washer dryer in the bottom and have hanging closet space above, or you could actually go stackable washer dryer if you are so inclined, which is not something you find in a lot of bunkhouse RVs. Now, coming out of the bedroom here, obviously I've closed the slide outs. I gotta say, I forgot the fact that this slide is not as deep as the other sofa slide. So you actually do have a little bit of room where if you need to, you can kind of snake through here. But be that as it may, I don't know that it actually changes anything in the road mode travel function equation, because we're still pretty much blocked off from getting to the fridge. We're blocked off from getting to the bunk room from the converter panel. We can get to the front bedroom and the bathroom, so we're good for a quick potty stop. But other than that, to do anything in the RV, you're going to need to open at least the door side slide. But here's the thing. This RV has those fold down stable steps, so as far as those things swing out, typically, if you can fold down those steps, you could open the slide on the left side of the screen, and you could maybe have a travel stop and snack. But for anything else, you really got to open it up. And that's not ideal. I'm not calling that A+ road mode by any means. But if you, again, you appreciate how we're totally transparent and candid with you, hit that subscribe button. And let's see what she brings to the table on the outside. And real quick, as we step outside, let's not mince words. I do not want you towing this with a half ton. This thing, basically, let's just call a spade, a duck a duck. It's a 40-foot camper that has a top end max weight with max cargo over 11,000 pounds. That is not something half ton should consider towing. Even the very rare super heavy duty half ton that frankly nobody generally has shouldn't be handling this. You're gonna want 3/4 ton and up to handle this. Here's another idea. What if you have a seasonal and or park site and you're not really going to be doing a lot of towing? Well, it's actually a lot cheaper in the long run to maybe pay a person with a truck, like a delivery driver, once or twice a year to move your RV. It's a lot cheaper than a full-on truck payment, and you don't have to give up your daily driving, easy navigating vehicle. So that's all stuff that we can assist you with. Basically, tell us what your needs are and we can help you. You know, we can outfit you the way that you need it. Power tongue jack doing the heavy lifting for us. Power corners stabilizers making everything push button simple. And this is not riding on a traditional Lippert I-beam chassis. These are on a Norco huck bolted frame. That's HSLA steel, high strength, low alloy, which basically means lighter, but theoretically stronger. The windows here, they have updated to the square flow windows. A lot of brands have gone. It's funny, what's old is new again. Square windows were the industry standard for the longest time, and industry kind of moved away from them, and now we're kind of moving back to them. Part of the reason I wanted to walk over here, though, is to point out the fact that despite the kitchen and the bathroom being a decent distance away from one another, they did manage to plumb everything together. So it is a single sewer outlet. I need to retract a previous statement. I missed this before that. I must not have seen it behind the tire. This actually is a dual sewer hookup. I am so sorry. It actually does have a kitchen gray tank outlet separate from the bathroom black and gray outlets that we're looking at here. So I got it wrong initially. I don't want to send you, again, down the road with bad information. Sometimes, I guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I don't, that is such a stupid thing to say right now. I don't know, you get the idea. And there's not a ton to report under the skirt line of this sucker. The underbelly's enclosed and it is forced air heated, but they're not pretending to be some kind of mega all seasons Arctic camper that frankly no RV really is. But you know, a lot of brands like to make these crazy claims. I do like the slam latches and the magnet holdbacks all over the place. The basic water docking center is nice. I also appreciate the fact that even though it blocks off a little bit of my front pass through, they did partition the water docking center separately from everything else. So like you don't have water accidentally bleeding into the rest of the RV pass through, which is something that I've seen some other brands do before. Jump it over here to the other side of the pass-through. I love that pegboard. I love that opportunity for a quick, handy organizer. I also want to point out, this is kind of interesting. We're going to see, I'm going to call it a rear entertainment convenience center, not a full-on camp kitchen on this RV. But if you look directly below the very front awning arm, you see a white piece of paper kind of dangling down. That's where there is a gas grill quick connect. So you've got a fridge in the back. You can have a grill or a griddle or something in the front if you want. But if you do or don't do that, it's totally up to you. Now, I feel like last year they didn't do this as nicely. They cranked out some serious awning space on this sucker. The forward awning's a little small. I feel like last year they had one giant awning, but I think it was like mostly over the slide out. And obviously now they don't have that. Now you do have an awning split right by the door. So if it's raining reasonably hard, you're still going to get spritzed in the face. But you do have some really nice coverage here. Like plenty of room for picnic tables and stuff. I actually think I'd probably keep my picnic table right back here by, again, what I'm going to call the outdoor convenience and entertainment center, because it's not an outdoor kitchen. There's no sink. There's no cooker. It almost looks a little bit blank to me because there's all this empty space at the top. I kind of wish something was done there, but this RV is already big enough and heavy enough, but I don't know. Maybe, hold on. What is over here on the side? Okay, so that helps. That helps me feel a little bit better about it, that they didn't just waste some of that space. Obviously, you've got to push the TV back to do that, but the TV's on a double joint swing arm. You can do that. Anyway, I don't know. What do you think about it? It's nice to, again, Vibe's doing something a little different, and I'll give them credit for that. As we back up here, your on-demand water heater is all the way in the back corner, which does place it a pretty decent distance from the shower. Because if you think about it, the shower is basically across from the entry door up there. So that means that the water is going to have to travel quite a ways to get to it. So when you're waiting for the water to heat up, you're gonna have a little bit of time. If you're park camping, less of a problem. If you are dry camping, that could be a waste of a decent amount of fresh water into your gray tank that you never really had the opportunity to enjoy. And information like that, you know, where it could be an issue where that might be something you're like, oh, well, maybe we don't want to buy this RV. If you appreciate that, basically along the way, I don't just hand you the fish, but I try to teach you how to fish. If nothing else, if that means you don't like this RV, that's okay. Just at least drop like a little like on the video to help spread the message a little bit, maybe to get it up to somebody else that might like it. Now, obviously, we're aware of the fact this is a giant Vibe RV, but if you need something a little bit smaller for your family, they build that too. If you want something without bunks, you're like, it'd be better if it didn't have bunks. Well, let's take a look at something like a 3400 XL, a model that doesn't have bunks within the Vibe family. The other thing is, though, remember, this could always have, because the way the bottom bunk can just leave, this could be a pretty decent makeshift office kind of camper. I could see that too. So let me know what you think about it, and I will leave you links in the description to double check pricing and availability at any of our stores, wherever we happen to have one in stock. And if we don't have one in stock, call our team, and we are more than happy to get you figures on something or maybe you want to order it a little bit differently. They don't have a lot of options, but maybe you want one a little different. I don't know. Give us a call, let us know. And until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.